going to start this thing in just a minute. Hey. Did you hear that? What was that? Hell. I don't see anything down the track. Anyway, welcome again to our show. I've had people that have called in and emailed in actually on the show, and they've asked me if I'm bald. And I'm asking them, why are they asking that of me? They said, well, because you never take your hat off. Well, I'm going to take my hat off for you this week. Not bald. Anyway, today we have another special guest on the show. Well, basically he's my bodyguard. We had a little incident this last week between Dig and Stumble On. They were kind of fussing over Amas Inca, which is another Egyptian social web page, I guess. But anyway, we have another guest today, and it's not going to be a very long show today because I'm tired. These guys on the train had me partying all week, and I don't like doing that because then I miss work and I don't have a good show, so it's going to be short. We have today visiting well, let's just say he's one of those guys who figures out everything there is to know about how to connect every single social media marketing website there is in all languages, because he goes through Google with the interpretation on his returns. So if you don't have it, you ought to check into it, especially if you're a loan officer. Anyway, Advanced Realty, who's a sponsor of our show, we're trying to get a special guest from the organization for next week. Man, that last bit of track, I swear, we bumped the power stick. Anyway, we're going to try to get him on and talk to us this next week. Advanced Realty Premier Properties is San Diego's most unbelievable real estate company I've ever seen. Don't take my word for it. Go to their webpage, gregtims.com. That's a really good name for Advanced Realty Premier Properties, isn't it? I think somebody needs to fix that. Anyway, yeah, this guy back here, he didn't really say much. You can see him back there in the back. They kind of put a little, one of the train company put a special person to help me because they say I've been abusing the power stick. So that's why he's there. Plus to keep all those rowdies out there, back there in the back down. Anyway, turning to our special guest today, this fellow who's renowned for being able to steal information from various social websites. And he's going to let us in on a couple of his secrets. Mr. Anonymous. Nice job, cameraman. Mr. Anonymous, you were going to share some things with us today. Would you like to go ahead and take it from the very beginning?
I would. How's everyone today?
Remember, the max is 1 gigabyte. That's all we have, so you know what I mean? Like, perhaps you ought to talk about what they're doing with, say, just off the top of your head, cigarettes these days, and how they're branding them.
Cigarettes and how they're branding them. Well, regardless of how they put light, well, apparently they can't put light cigarettes on. So basically, they
And by the way,
yes, and by the way.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I believe maybe we might want to get Mr. Facebook back on here again. At least he knows how to speak English. This guest we have right here today is having a particularly difficult time concentrating. So therefore, I'm going to change the question. How come they're not going to call light cigarettes light anymore on the packaging?
Oh, misleading. They're misleading the people into thinking that less chance of cancer, addiction.
That sounds like a very plausible reason for that. But you know what I just wonder right deep in the back of my mind is, isn't an addict going to figure it out? Isn't a tobacco addict going to be able to figure out it's the same cigarette? And they've already rationalized that it's light. So, I mean, how do you change brainwashing over 30 years in a matter of packaging? How do you do that, Mr. Anonymous?
Well, I believe regardless of packaging or labeling, packaging or labeling products is gonna, because it's not the labeling or the packaging that brings the customer to the cigarette, it's what they're consuming from it. And so regardless of anything.
So we are going to move on again. You know, we're trying to do a good job of bringing you guests and stuff, but we've got a little problem. Well, I can't really say it now because. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to move on down the rail. And here I am, the engineer, signing off unhappily. Let's get on down the road. Ouch.
Somebody's going to get killed by that one.
God, that hurt, man. Why do you make me do this stuff anyway? That's your idea.